Hey, thanks for watching Eric and her mom and stopping by today. I just want to say, if you think decluttering a closet is all pain and no gain, I'm here to tell you it's magnificent. Number one, you get it done. Not everything is just clutter and trash. There are some true treasures in there, and I want to show you a couple of my treasures. So day before yesterday was kind of a rest and do normal work. Train number one was yesterday, just my regular work, because we had to take our dog to the vet. Number two train, I didn't leave the station. Well, actually I did a little declutter, a few tiny declutter projects yesterday, but I just want to tell you, day before yesterday, I did the big closet declutter in my office, and I just want to tell you, it was wonderful. I was tired. I spent a long time. I did show you that I found this. It's very heavy. I don't know how much it weighs, about 10 pounds, I guess. And it's just this little boy, this sweet little guy. And this little guy is absolutely precious to me. When my son, Thomas, was a little boy, he always reminded us of this little guy. Anyway, sadly, and this is the emotional part of, I wasn't gonna get into this, and then someone encouraged me to talk about it. But this little guy represents my son, Thomas, who passed away. And it's been quite a while now since he passed away in 2008. But so this little guy is not him, and I don't make an idol of it. We had this when he was a little boy, and they just looked a lot alike, and it was just, you know, one of those happy happenstances. So anyway, when I packed that at our old house 2 years ago to move into this new house, and I had lived in that house for 25, 30 years. So this was a complete deep dig to pack our stuff. But anyway, this little statue was so, well, number one, it was heavy, so I didn't want to put it in another box with anything else. And I wanted to protect it very well. So you saw my wedding dress and how big and puffy it was. That was the perfect box to put this little statue in. So, and I haven't seen it for 2 years because we packed not in a fast hurry, but pretty quickly. You know, we were waiting to see when the closing date would be, and then all of a sudden it was upon us, and in next, like, a week away. So we started really packing. So I took the wedding dress down from my dressing room wall, and I put it in this huge U-Haul box, and then this will be perfect to go in there. Anyway, and it worked because, you know, he's still here. But I lost that box because I put all my special treasures from my dressing room. I put all my special treasures from my dressing room into the closet of my office. So it made sense at the time. It still does. But then I forgot what I put in there. But this was another thing that I found. It's like a treasure hunt. I really encourage you not to be afraid of it, because you're going to find some wonderful things that you love. And this is what I found. Let me tell you this little story. I had a box, you know, about this big, you know, not too big, but it held some stuff. And I packed the stuff from my dressing room in this box. And this was the most special, expensive things that I own were all in this little box. And I marked it MK7. And at the time, I had a really good reason for that. But now I don't remember what that, why did I write MK7 on that box? I don't know. But that was a code to me of what was in the box at the time. And then I found what I've been looking for 2 years. I found my expensive jewelry. Now, there's not tons of it, but it means a lot. I don't want to buy any more. I don't want to replace it. And there's more than just this, but this is what I would travel with. And this is what I always had close by. And this is my go-to jewelry. And this is, you know, it's not costume jewelry. It's real. It's the real deal. And I lost it. I lost it. I forgot what MK7 meant. And I still don't know, but I'll figure it out. These earrings were in this box, and these are really precious to me because they're pearls and elot stones, and the elot stones came from King Solomon mines in Israel. That's pretty special. That's pretty sweet. Anyway, but I found it. I dreaded, I'm sitting in my office enjoying my declutter, and this closet behind me has been the one thing I haven't wanted to do the whole time we lived here. And it contained the treasure hidden right in the room with me. Anyway, I just want to encourage you to not be afraid of what you find. It's great to find what's in the boxes. And so I just wanted to, I was still working for my list. This is a list of questions, viewer questions, viewer requests. And I liked this one. No, where is it? Oh, how to overcome being overwhelmed in the moment. And that certainly happened when I was doing my big closet declutter of 2022. How I handle that is, number one, I know it's gonna get done. I know that I'm not gonna get bogged down in decisions of what I don't need anymore. And there are plenty of things you're gonna find that you wanna keep. Be okay with that too. But you have to set limits. You have to set limits on your stuff. I have to tell you, if I have 15 of these boxes, I would go through all 15 and come down with one, because nobody needs that much stuff. You can't take care of that much stuff unless you have a staff. The Queen of England has lots of jewels, but she has a staff to take care of it. You don't. And if you do and you're watching this, hey, give me a thumbs up and let me know, because I don't know. If you're if you've got a staff, let me know. That'd be great. The other thing, I just want to let you know, getting overwhelmed in a situation means you're in a good situation that requires enough thought that you're just not idling through life. So that's important. Do the best you can. If you can't do it all in one day, do it one box at a time. But try your best not to close the box and put it back. Try to get through the box. So I'm sorry if there's a lot of glare on my glasses. Yeah, I need a staff. I need a cameraman. The other thing is, when do you keep an unnecessary and unneeded item? You have to put that in categories. Number one, does it mean a lot to you? Does it mean more to you than other stuff? So look at the things that really mean a lot to you. Question, why do they mean a lot to you? And justify why you need it. But when you're doing a big declutter, you don't want to have to do that with every item. Be realistic. You know, the statue of Thomas is one thing. It's heavy. It's one thing. And I love it. I do. I love it. But it's not an idol to me. And if I had to let it go, I could let it go. And I wouldn't have a bunch of sorrow in my soul, because this is not my son. This is just a statue we had, and we would say, hey, Thomas, this looks like you. Because it's just this cute little boy. Actually, I gotta tell you another story about this. If you can see his face, he used to have a pipe. I don't know which one of them broke it, but I'm pretty sure it was a kid. But I don't know that. But anyway, he had a little pipe, and so it was just cute, you know. It's just something cute, but it's not the person. It is not the person. So I was happy to get it. It brought tears to my eyes, and that's as far as you can really go with inanimate objects. You know, you have an attachment to it. But if you need to downsize and you need to let things go, the person is the important thing. The person is in your heart. The object reminds you of the person, but I have to say, it doesn't change your affection for the person. So don't get stuck. If I had every single thing that was left after he passed away, I swear, it would be dysfunction, because I know what that's like. And for a while, I didn't want to let go of anything. Oh, he touched this, or he wore this, or he liked this. But at some point, it's too much. It's not healthy anymore. I love my son, but I can't make an idol of him either. And that's hard for some people to hear. And just because he's passed away, he doesn't take place above God. He doesn't take place above other people in my life. And my mother used to say the living have to go on living. And that's true. If I'm stuck being a caretaker of all the things that were touched by my son, then I'm not living anymore. I'm not living anymore. We have to go on. We have to do everything. We can't attach things. Let me just put it this way. When Moses died, God didn't even let anyone bury him in a certain place because they would have worshiped Moses. God buried Moses himself. So we have to be careful that we don't elevate a person to a God status. And I know that's really hard. You don't want to hear that. You don't like that. And if you don't like that, you've already turned me off. But I just want you to know that I do believe in afterlife. I do believe that they're not on the other side thinking about my stuff that I left behind. No, they're not. They're not. And probably a lot of those things they wouldn't find value in anymore. So anyway, that's my little take on that. And if you're hurting, I mourn with you. I pray that your heart will be healed and knitted back together, and you will be whole. And know that you still have a life to live. You still have people to care for, people to teach, and people to just associate with. The living are still living. God chose you to still be here. And you have to trust that that was the right thing. When to keep unneeded items. Well, I guess if you have things that are not needed, you have to put in categories. You have to decide, is this trash? Is this trash? Am I keeping boxes because something that I treasure went in that box? Is there some reason for that? Let me tell you a story. When my daughter, Erica, was young, she got these Barbies. They were very special, and a lot of you ladies know what I'm talking about. These special Barbies that they came out with when collectibles were all the rage, because they realized at this point, like, I think it started with baseball cards. They realized that men grew up and now they wanted their baseball card collection back that their mom gave away, you know, when they were little, and they wanted, I don't know famous baseball players. Let's say Babe Ruth. I had a Babe Ruth card, not me, but this is what they're saying, and my mom got rid of it. So we have to go through another cycle of that child being an adult and wanting to recapture some of that fun, and then baseball cards just went through the roof. The same thing happened with Superman comics and Batman comics, because when you paid 15 cents for it, and I know they don't cost that now. I think they were a quarter when my brother used to collect them. And you know, and then that person becomes an adult and they want to like relive their childhood a little bit, and they're willing to pay $35. Well, if he's willing to pay $35, then he's willing to pay $50, and it goes ridiculous. I'm sorry, my nose is kind of itchy today. I've gotten into some dusty places today already, getting some more things done. But to the Barbie, back to the Barbie. I didn't lose my train of thought, but I hope I didn't lose you. We're back to the Barbie. So now people think that they're paying, okay, number one, a Barbie should still be $3.50. But so we paid so much for these silly Barbie dolls and velvet dresses. And then they were supposed to, leave it in the box, mint in package, right? And then you grow up and then these silly Barbies are not worth anything, not even what we paid for them. Should have taken them out of the box. Should have combed their hair, because you could never comb up Barbie's hair and recover from it. Comb the Barbie's hair, enjoy the Barbie, take it outside, let the dog run around with it. Enjoy the Barbie, enjoy the toys, throw away the package, move on. You don't need to hang on to stuff. I used to have the box for everything in my house. Seriously, they were flat and they were in stacks and blah, 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 blah. No more. They're in the trash. So anyway, that's just one thing. That's just the trash part. But then there are unneeded things. Maybe you like to read books. Maybe you have lots and lots of books. And keep the ones that are sincerely special to you. But don't keep every book you've ever read. If you're a reader, honestly, my stack wouldn't be a very high stack, because I don't really care to read a lot of books. I have Bibles, and I have prayer books, and I have, things like that. But I have read stories, don't get me wrong. But if you're trying to keep those things that's taking up more space, you have to say, okay, all right, I don't know. There are people who have libraries, and it's impressive, and they have tons and tons and tons of books. Yeah, but that's not me, so I wouldn't do it. You have to decide, what is your thing? What are you hanging on to? And do you need it? Do you need it? If you don't need it, then you have to decide, do you love it? Is it bringing you pleasure and joy? If it's in a stack, if you have to displace living in order to have that, then you can't hang on to things that you don't need whenever you can't live your life. When your kids can't have friends over because you have stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks. That's like keeping old TV guides. There are people who have every TV guide. Oh, it was even on a Seinfeld episode that the father keeps his TV guides, and the weirdest person on the planet appreciated that. So think about it. But you know what? I don't care to do that. I like pretty stuff. I do like pretty stuff, but I don't like cluttered stuff, because you can't clean it and you can't see it. You can't see, like on this dresser, I just have been doing this taking things off and replacing it with all those little tiny pictures, you know, that you would put on a piano. I don't have a piano, so I'm putting them over there. That's clutter to me. It's clutter. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it there, but I'm trying it out. I've seen it done. I'm trying it out. I know that a few days ago I said I was gonna put a lot of pictures on a wall, and I'm looking at all my walls, and I don't think I can do it. But, you know, because I'm trying to move towards a declutter, not towards clutter. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm still working on it. So what to keep? Keep the things that you use. Keep the things that you display, and keep the things that are important, like birth certificates, wedding license, marriage certificates. That's the same thing, right? You know, those are important, and put them in a place where you can find them. I've been working since, you know, the last declutter. I've been working on putting things in folders and getting rid of piles of stuff. And so far, so good. I'm pretty happy with my accomplishments. We'll go over that, because honestly, most of the paperwork is in my husband's room and I haven't had to deal with it. That's a whole video by itself. Fix, throw away, or donate. Now, I like the idea of fixing things and using them. If you have a pile of things that need fix and you don't fix them, then you shouldn't keep them, because either you touch it and say to yourself, this is broken, this should be fixed, go fix it. You can do that. Unless you need to get something to repair it, then as soon as you do, fix it, use it. Don't fix it to say it can be used, you know? Oh, come on, people. Let's, I have things that need fixed. I'm yelling at myself too. So why do we do this? Why do we want to keep things? Wow. You know, they say that, you know, the people who went through the depression, they would just keep every little thing, every little plastic bag and tie wire of a bread wrapper and everything else. But, you know, that generation is, you know, elderly now. We're still doing things like that. How many people have bread wrapper ties scattered throughout their junk drawer? I always call it a drunk drawer, because it looks like a drunk did that drawer. But in your junk drawer, how many ridiculous things. I did a video the other day because I couldn't even believe what was in my drunk drawer. Anyway, so the depression is over. A lot of people have lack, a lot of people have need, a lot of people have financial issues and crises. And you may not be able to replace something, fix it. But if you're not going to use it, you're wasting money to fix it. Let's see, what else can we do? Donating. I think this is, I'm sorry, my nose. And I do have a fan on. Maybe I should turn that down. Talking about donating, if you have something that's good and donating it makes you feel good, do it. Do it whenever that first thought hits. You're like, I don't really use this anymore. I should donate. Run to your car. Run. Don't put it back and forget that you had that thought. I have sheets, towels, linen, well, linens, towels, sheets, blankets, all those things. I went through them. Oh my gosh, I told you 30 years worth. And I got all down to just a few. Then I still have plenty. So, you know, I took mine weren't very good. So I took mine to the dog pound. I'm just laughing because of something behind the camera. I took mine to the dog pound they were happy to get it. They need blankets, they need towels for the animals. So that was a great place. So if you have some undesirable blankets and towels, sheets with stains or whatever, you might just want to take them to your local dog pound or dog shelter. I don't guess they call it a pound anymore. So that's a little bit, anyway, not PC. All right. Oh, I love this one. You can refresh your home design for free. And I like that because that's my budget right now. For free by rearranging things you already have. And yes, I'm having a great time doing that. I have done that because once I got decluttered, I'm not there yet. Once I get a lot of decluttering done, I can repurpose some of my decorative things, furniture, paintings, whatever. I can move them around to a better place because I have I've lived in the house for 2 years. I have a better understanding of the look and the feel I'm going for, and I'm able to just make better choices, So as far as scale and size and color, I group them around. I have a lot of blue in my bedroom, and I had blue in other parts of the house, and it was forced and it just didn't match. So I took it all to the bedroom, and now it's incredible. It's like I meant to do it, but it's just a happy accident. So anyway, I think once your house is cleaner, once the stress is off, you become more creative and you can redecorate with your very own items. And especially if you can take some things that have been hidden in the back of your closet or wherever. Give it a try. You'll see you can do that. Let's see how to manage the emotional and possibly fear-based attachment to these items. And I know exactly what that means. If a person in your life has passed away, you don't want to get rid of something that's theirs. What's more destructive is if the person hasn't passed away and you're afraid to give it up because they might pass away. Don't live in fear. Don't live in fear. Enjoy people while you have them. Don't get so attached to things. A little thing, a little something of a person is one thing, but don't overburden yourself with tons and tons of stuff, Like I truly believe that the person is not caring about that stuff. You're not honoring the person. You honor the person because you honor the person. You don't honor the person just because you keep their stuff, And can I say this out loud? This is a toughie. Just because you have a spouse that has passed away doesn't mean you grieve forever. He might have been the one. She might have been the one. There's nobody like them, but that's true. There's nobody like them. But that doesn't mean you have to stay in your grief and be just, sad and lonely. You don't have to be. You can go through your grief and go through your sadness and live again. So just throwing that out there in case somebody needs to hear it. A lot of us have had a pretty tough things that we've had to go through. Don't shut down. Don't stick to yourself. Don't mourn the person more than you need to. I know that sounds harsh, but the living have to keep on living. And there's nothing wrong with a spouse remarrying. That's my opinion. I've been there. I know. Trust me. Well, trust my experience, the experience that I had. My husband passed away, My former husband, of blessed memory, passed away. And I did mourn. It was tragic. It was sad. He was young. He was 47. He had not had his 48th birthday. It was coming up. And he passed away. And so was I. We were the same age. But yeah, I had to keep on living. I think if I kept on mourning, I wouldn't. Number one, I think you get sick sooner. You pass away sooner. But I have grandchildren now, and yay, I get to be with them. I get to see them. I get to love them, and they get to know me. So I think that's important. So keep on living. Do me a favor. Just keep on living. Okay. Oh, I love this one. This will be the last one, I think. How to create a manageable routine for decluttering. This is so good because if you're at the very beginning of a declutter and your whole house is, let's say, hopefully this isn't the case. Let's say you can't walk from the kitchen to the living room television. Most people have a television in their living room or an item if your floor is impeded by anything other than furniture or the dog, I would start with the floor, and I would start in a particular room so that you have boundaries in areas, and I would start there. I would start with the floor if you need space to walk, and if it's the floor, you're gonna have to be tough. You're gonna have to really make some fast decisions. I would bring in the trash bags, and I would go through there as fast as I could, gathering trash and put it out and don't look back. And then if it's toys, do the same thing. Just get those toys in a box and donate them. Or, this is when you really do need a black trash bag so that your kids don't see what's in there. Or it could be stacked up with piles and piles of books. This is true. I saw this in real life, and there were books like 3 and 5 and 6 feet high everywhere, and there were paths around the books. Unfortunately, this is someone real and in my life that passed away. We called the local bookstore, used bookstore. They brought a U-Haul and they took them all out in one afternoon. It was done because we had to declutter an absolutely packed, cluttered house. And they came in, took them all out. Sometimes you need professional help. And it wasn't professional help like someone to tell us how to do it. We knew you can't have books all over the house. It's just understood. We didn't need to be told that. So we got all the books out and done. They gave us some money for the books, and that increased their inventory greatly, and it was done. So if it's toys and you're more attached to the toys than the children, no, you have to stop. You have to stop and give them. It's hard, but you're a grown-up and you have to make hard decisions every day. And it's harder to live with it than it is to live without it. So I guess that's where I would go, is that. And do it. Sometimes you got to do it a pile at a time, a grouping at a time, a section at a time. You can't do it all, but you have to realize it's got to go. It's got to go. You don't have enough places in your house for that. But let's go to something a little more simple. Say a regular declutter. If you're a lady or a gentleman and you've had a kitchen for a long time, your kitchen has too much stuff in it. Let's just face the facts and realities. We have to clean out a lot. So I would start with going in the kitchen, plastic bag, grab the plastic stuff and throw it away. You probably have storage containers that are glass and that are like a real set of bowls, a real set of containers that are not like the freebie kind you get sandwich meat in, or you get a big box of 96 pieces or something like that. I would go through and get rid of all of that, even though you might be able to use it later. You just have to start somewhere. And you know, oh my gosh, Tupperware. There's Tupperware parties, I think like they're the biggest declutterer company, a biggest cluttering company on the planet. So you have a Tupperware butter dish, you have a Tupperware juice pitcher, I use Tupperware salt and pepper shakers. So yeah, I'm there with you. Tupperware bowls, Tupperware bread keepers, Tupperware blah blah blah. If you don't use it, get rid of it. And I remember they were like, replace all your boxes with Tupperware. And if you do that and you can see your food, great. If you want to transition into doing that because you already have it, great. Do it. Get started. But you don't have to just continue to do that. Get your dishes done. Get your dishes done. Pare down your dishes. See how many you actually need for your family. And then you have a different set if company comes. You have one set of dishes for each of your family members. A glass, a cup, a bowl, a plate, one for each person in your family. Everything else gets taken out as far as dishes so that you can have a small load to do every time. Because if you're having to do meals for 4 or 5 or dishes for 4 or 5 meals, you're not going to want to do it. You're overwhelmed. You've already lost the game. So pare down, and if you have company, you can either use paper plates, you can have a separate set of dishes that are only for company, and in that box you can have extra dishes, extra glasses, extra forks, knives, spoons, and just bring it out. You know, put it in a plastic container, bring it out when you have company. The rest of that your children can put their own dish in the dishwasher. If you don't use a dishwasher, they can wash it, or you can wash it. But you can wash 4 plates faster than you can wash 16. It's math. It's just a science, people. Anyway, so I definitely get started on the piles of stuff. If you don't have the piles of stuff, start in your kitchen. Work your way through the bathrooms and through the closets, but just get started. You don't have to spend a long time doing everything, but you have to spend time doing everything. But remember, you have 2 trains. You have a house cleaning train, which is laundry, number 1. Laundry, vacuuming, bathrooms, and kitchen. And then you have your creative side, the side that goes, yay, look at what I did. That's where you want to get to, because that's what makes you happy. All right, so I'm going to end it there with our viewer comments and questions. And I just want you to know that this is exciting to me, getting it done. I found some things that I really want, which means there's things probably in the garage and my last closet clean that I've been looking for, and I just didn't know they were there. So, and we'll get to those things, but I just want to encourage you to keep trying, whether it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, or all day. Just be proud of what you do. Be proud of what you can get done. Enjoy the blessings that you've been given, and be good stewards of whatever you have. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for watching Erica and her mom. Have a lovely day. Laundry, bathrooms, kitchen. Oh, what's the other one? Laundry, vacuuming, kitchen, I'm vacuuming. Or I said it. What am I talking about? Anyway, and